All right, let's jump straight into this explainer. Today, we're demystifying the true science and relentless preparation behind a literal martial arts icon, Bruce Lee. We are looking at the blueprint of a legend, specifically breaking down the actual science behind his incredible, almost unbelievable speed. For decades, so many people just assumed Bruce Lee was born exceptionally fast. They thought he was blessed with these superhuman genetics that no one else could ever hope to replicate. But honestly, that's just a myth. The reality? His unbelievable speed was engineered. It was built from the ground up through relentless training, strict scientific thinking, and absolutely perfect timing. So let's go ahead and tear down that myth of pure genetics and uncover the highly calculated, deeply intentional reality of exactly how he moved the way he did. So here's our roadmap for today. First, shattering the speed myth. Second, how speed begins in the mind. Third, eliminating wasted motion. Fourth, perfect timing. And finally, the science of preparation. Let's get right into part one, shattering the speed myth, beyond genetics. His incredible speed wasn't magic. It was built through relentless training, scientific thinking, and perfect timing. Think about that. What looks like pure magic to an observer, a punch so fast that filmmakers literally had to adjust their cameras to 32 frames per second just to capture it on screen, is actually the direct result of intense, calculated preparation. He absolutely wasn't relying on some magical gift. He engineered his abilities from scratch. Moving on to part two, speed begins in the mind, the first step. Look, true physical speed doesn't actually begin in your muscles. It's entirely neurological. Step one, the mind makes an instant decision. Then, step two, the body explodes into action. Bruce Lee completely understood that if your brain hesitates for even a microsecond, your muscles just cannot move at peak velocity. The mental trigger is literally everything. Which leads us to a really crucial core principle. The faster your decision, the faster your action. Think about how you can actually apply this to your own life. Cultivating that kind of mental clarity and instant decision-making, that's the real foundation for efficiency in any pursuit. Whether you're sparring in a dojo, responding to a sudden emergency, or, making a critical choice in a high-stakes meeting, a swift mind is the absolute prerequisite for swift action. All right, part three, eliminating wasted motion, the mechanics of efficiency. Thousands, not tens, not hundreds, thousands. He accomplished his legendary speed through thousands upon thousands of highly precise repetitions. He wasn't just in the gym working out. He was obsessively stripping away every single ounce of wasted motion. It was a total, relentless obsession with perfection through repetition. A lot of folks out there assume his secret was just raw brute force. But the truth is, brute force is sloppy. It burns unnecessary energy, and it ultimately slows you down. Instead, Lee relied on total efficiency. By eliminating any micro-movement that didn't directly contribute to his strike, every muscle fiber fired exactly when it was needed, not a fraction of a second before and not a fraction of a second after. To refine those movements, he used a remarkably diverse methodology. He adapted tools from all over the globe. We're talking traditional wooden dummy drills, Western boxing focus mitts, the speed bag, explosive footwork drills, and reaction ball training. He was constantly bombarding his nervous system with different stimuli, training his body to react instantly with zero wasted space. Which brings us to part four, perfect timing, the secret ingredient. Because, let's face it, speed without timing is really just rushing. Perfect timing is moving at exactly the right moment to make an ordinary technique feel extraordinary. For him, perfect timing meant dodging attacks by mere fractions of a second and delivering incredibly precise counterstrikes the exact millisecond a window opened up. It's all about manipulating the space and time between you and your opponent so perfectly that you control the entire encounter. Timing literally transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary. Striking at the exact right moment amplifies your impact exponentially. If you move too early, you show your hand. Move too late, well, you've missed the window. And this applies everywhere, right? Whether you're in the ring, delivering a punchline to a joke, or launching a massive project at work. Knowing exactly when to execute is what creates the extraordinary. Let's wrap things up with part five, the science of preparation, discipline, and discovery. Bruce Lee really operated less like a traditional athlete and way more like a scientist in a laboratory. He applied a strict scientific method to everything he did. Constant experimentation, unyielding discipline, keen observation, and relentless practice. If a technique didn't work for him, he discarded it instantly. If it did work, he optimized it to absolute perfection. He was basically decades ahead of modern sports science. Seriously. By using tools like reaction lights, resistance bands, sprint drills, and even conducting slow-motion biomechanics analysis on his own movements, he was essentially reverse engineering the human body to completely maximize its physical potential. Ultimately, his greatest advantage wasn't just his speed. It was his deep, calculated preparation. That blinding speed that blew audiences away on screen, that was just the final, visible product of years of hidden scientific preparation that allowed him to react with that kind of remarkable precision when it really counted. So it all really boils down to this overarching philosophy. Train smart, move faster, master your timing. When you train smart by cutting out the physical and mental waste from your daily routines, you inevitably move faster and way more effectively in everything you do. Bruce Lee mastered his timing through relentless science and preparation. So how will you train smart and master yours? As we finish up this explainer today, I want to leave you with this final thought to ponder. How can you actively apply this scientific approach to eliminate the wasted motion in your day, sharpen your mind, and master the timing in your own life?
See you next time.